सुने ना मुझे ना वो विषय दिखा था और किसके साथ दिखा था पता है क्या? जिया के साथ दिखा था। मैं उसको बोल रही थी कि ये भाई करेगा पर नहीं कर रहा था, छुपा रहा था खुद का। यार सुनना
इनकम टैक्स फाइलिंग का
हाँ ना नहीं समझ में आ रहा है कैसे।
मेरा भी नहीं हुआ इस बार, मुझे भी
You might have come across such advertisements on various social media platforms. Please note, all of these are fraudsters promising unbelievable returns through stock tips. I don't provide any calls or advisory services. I provide only educational content through my social media handles and through my website rachanaranade.com and rachanaranade.in. Hey folks, CA Rachana Ranade here and I welcome you all to a very interesting video. For a change, this video is going to be about taxation. I'm sure you definitely were able to correlate with the pre-bumper because that's what is going to happen in your office also right now. Typically during June and July, everyone is going to be tensed. Hey Bhagwan, income tax return, how am I going to file that? Everyone is going to be like, what is the simplest way to file the income tax return? And that is the reason why we have prepared this video. This video is specifically for those people who are earning income from salary, who are earning income from house property, and also who are earning income from other sources. If you have income only from these three heads of income, means what? You don't have any income from capital gains, you don't have any income from PGBP, that is profits and gains from business profession. No, these two you don't need. Okay, only three. These are the three. So just as an example, what is house property income? For example, you have given a house on rent and you are receiving the rental income, that is income from house property example. What is income from other sources? Let's say you are getting interest on FDs. Okay, you are getting some dividend income, that is your income from other sources. So if you are earning income from these three sources and if your income is up to 50 lakh rupees, then ITR 1 is the right income tax return for you. Okay, and ITR 1 is also called as Sahaj, by the way. And if you were to file this ITR 1, then can you do it by yourself? Answer is yes. Today in our video, we're going to understand how to file this ITR 1 in about 10 minutes. But if you want to file it in 10 minutes, you have to have some documents which are handy with you. Okay, 3 documents that you must have while filing your ITR 1. Number 1, you should have a Form 16. Now, who's going to give you this Form 16? Your employer is going to give you Form 16. Typically, I've seen that generally employers start issuing Form 16 somewhere around in the month of June only. They'll start issuing that, okay? Some may be earlier, some may be a bit later, okay? So, Form 16 you have to take from the employer. Number 2, you should have all your sources of income handy with you. So, for example, income from salary you will get from Form 16. But let's say you have some interest income, you have some dividend income that you should have handy with you. You should know the number. And third thing is that you should have your AIS downloaded with you. AIS is your annual information statement. Okay. Now, what is this AIS? It's nothing but like a financial kundali. Okay. In short, government has linked your PAN anywhere and everywhere. Even if you are earning dividend income, government knows it. It will be automatically reflected in AIS. So government is saying we know that you are earning this much. Even if you have purchased one share, one mutual fund unit or 5 mutual fund unit, whatever, government says, we know it because finally shares and mutual fund transaction are also linked with your PAN, right? So AIS is like your financial kundali. Download that as well. So today we are also going to understand how to download that AIS and then start proceeding with your income tax return. Okay. Before we move to downloading your AIS, 2 important announcements. Number 1 is that if you can file your income tax return by yourself, nothing like it. But if you feel that no, I'm not really confident enough, if you feel that oh my god, if I get some notice from the income tax authorities, then what? If you're scared, if you're not sure on how to file it, better take professional help. From whom can you take a professional help? Ideally a chartered accountant. And if you have your own chartered accountant, fantastic. You can just go to your CA and ask that person to file the income tax return for this financial year as well. But if you don't have a CA right now, or if you feel that no, I want to have help from some other CA, I would be happy to facilitate this for you. And for that, I'm going to give a link of a Google form, and the link is there in the pinned comment and in the description box. If you want me to facilitate this for you, just fill up the Google form and we'll get back to you, right? This is number 1. Number 2 is that if you are aware about our nas.io Invest in India community, we run challenges every month. The first challenge that we had run was about fundamental analysis challenge. Second was about technical analysis challenge. And this time we are going to have a challenge which will be about saving taxes legally. Very important. This one will be even for resident Indians and for NRI. So one or two or a little bit more than that, few challenges will also be specifically designed for NRIs. So even if you are a resident Indian or a non-resident Indian, please don't forget to check out our community nas.io/invest in India. And if you want, you can enroll for this tax challenge as well. Link of this is there in the description box below. Alright, now we are going to understand about how to download the AIS, but this is specifically for an individual, or we call such a person as an assessee who is not going to file the income tax return for the very first time. In short, it means that you're already registered with the incometaxindia.gov.in website. Okay. One more thing, the website that I'm going to show you right now, you can either Google it out, or I'm going to give the link of this website also in the pinned comment and in the description box. Okay. So with that, let's get started. Have a look at this. I've just entered the PAN details of the user and I'm going to press continue. And now I'm going to press the password. Once I do this, here you will be able to see AIS. I'm just going to click on AIS. So it will take me to a separate page, and here I'll just have to click AIS. And here you can see I'll have to download the AIS from here. Easy, right? So here I can download it in PDF format. Now, once I have downloaded this, it will ask a password. It's a password protected document. So you'll have to put the PAN number in small case followed by date of birth. So assume that the date of birth is 26 June 1986. You'll have to say 26061986, right? And once you do that, you'll just have to hit submit. Well, now this AIS has been downloaded. I'm going to go back to the previous tab where we were at the eportal.incometax.gov.in. Now you can see here it shows file now. So I'm just going to click on file now. Then the current year is already selected, 24-25, which is the current assessment year. Select mode of filing. Ideally, you should go ahead with online filing and just click on continue. Now, once this is done, you can just directly click on start new filing. Who are you? Individual, HUF, others. Ideally, you are an individual. Just click on individual and press continue. Now, ideally, here you have to know which type of ITR you have to file. So currently we are going to file ITR 1, and that is the reason why I'm going to choose ITR 1, and then I'm going to say proceed with ITR 1. So basically this one says that you are going to do your income tax filing in 3 steps. 1, you are going to validate your returns. Breakup pre-filled means what? Like I told you, now no need to disclose everything to the government. Government says, "Arey, we know a lot of things." You just validate whatever we know. And if there are certain additional income details which are not pre-filled, better fill that up. Okay, that is what is given in the validate your returns. Second, once you have validated, if you feel you have added something, then you just need to confirm your return summary, and ultimately you need to verify and submit return. These are the 3 primary steps. Okay, so with that, let's get started. So first thing, it asks you that why are you filing your income tax return? Now ideally this should be the one. You are filing your income tax return because your income is more, taxable income is more than the basic exemption limit. Okay, but if you are not sure about what is all this about, that even if my income is below the basic exemption limit, still need I file the income tax return? If you are not aware about all these different scenarios, we have done a separate blog on this on our website rachanaranade.com. I'm going to give the link of that blog in the pinned comment and in the description box, right? So first you're just going to say taxable income greater than basic exemption limit, and then press continue. All right. Now you'll see here there are 5 basic points that you have to understand in your return summary. First, A part or the first part is you will have to check your personal information. Okay. Second thing, you will have to check your gross total income. So all income added up, salary, house property, income from other sources, that will be your gross total income. Then you will have to check whether the deductions have been taken up properly or not. If you feel there are certain more deductions, you will have to add up that data. Then you will have to check your taxes paid and ultimately your total tax liability. It will either be a payable or it will be a refund, and ultimately you will have to submit it. So I hope all 5 steps are clear. Now in the next section of the video, we'll start with how to file your personal information or how to verify your personal information. Now let's start one by one. I'm going to click on this personal information. Now I'm going to just go down, and here it will mention that verify your personal details. You will see where are the personal details. Everything has been blurred out. It is about a specific person. I'm not going to show the details, but I'm just going to tell you what all things you'll have to check. Check whether your first name, middle name, last name, PAN, date of birth, all these points are correct or not. Then check whether your contact details are correct or not. And once you have checked that, now things will come back to normalcy. Now things are not blur. Yes, this is okay. Now we have to select the nature of employment. So it depends. Who are you? You are a central government employee, state government employee, PSU, pensioner, la la la. If you are a private you're working in a private sector organization, then you can just click on others. Okay, this is like you are employed with a private sector employer. Next thing is filing under which section, 139(1), 4, 5 or whatever. Here ideally it should be 139(1) because you are filing your return before or on the due date. Okay, so we are just clicking on 139(1). Then what should we do? Just go down, and now comes a very important point. Do you wish to exercise the option under section 115 BAC subsection 6 of opting out of new tax regime? Do you want to opt out of new tax regime or not? Default is no, so ideally government is saying go ahead with new tax regime only. Okay, so what, but if you are not sure whether you have to use the old tax regime or new tax regime, you are not sure about that, simple thing is go to the income tax calculator. It's very much inbuilt in the website. What you can do is just put your total income. Ideally you should know what is your total income. Assume it is 20 lakhs and assume that your total deductions are 2 lakhs. Okay, now this says, it will directly give you an answer. This says this is your total income, these are your deductions. Tax amount as per old tax regime would be 3,66,600. As per new tax regime it will be 3,12,000 only, and that is why if you go for new tax it will be a saving of 54,600. So I hope you have understood as to how to check whether you want to go ahead with a new tax regime or with an old tax regime. So I'm saying I don't want to opt out of new tax regime, I want to go ahead with that only, right? Now I'm just going to go down. Then here you just ensure whether your bank details are correct or not, and then you click on confirm. Once you do this, yes, your personal information now it shows confirmed, right? Now the next step is gross total income. Yes, once you click here, then you will see some basic points. You can just scroll down, and here you will see whether, so basically what you have to do, I'll tell you. Here for example, if some amount appears, just check that with form 16. This is what you have to validate. Okay, so you can just say skip these questions. Yes, I want to skip these questions right now. I just want to continue. Now if you see here, income from salary. Now if you remember, we had three things which we had kept handy. Form 16, a document which had listed down all our incomes, and third was AIS. Check with form 16 whether all these points are correct or not, whether the gross salary is correct or not, whether net salary is correct or not, deductions are proper or not. Check everything. If you have income from house property, and if you have not disclosed that to the employer, which is fine, but then you will have to add the details of the house property income, rental income or whatever, right? Then you will have to go to income from other sources. If you have some income from other sources, let's say you have some income tax refund, you'll have to actually edit here, and then you will have to say, okay, this is income from income tax refund, whatever you'll have to put here, right? But right now there is no amount like this, so I'm just going to go back and scroll down. Okay, so once I've checked this, then I just check, yes, this is my gross total income. Exempt income. Now what is this exempt income? So just as an example, if you have income from agricultural, so you have agricultural income, so I'll just say add another. I'll have to select. So here you can see agriculture income. Okay, here you'll have to mention, then you'll have to enter whatever is the amount, but right now we don't have such, so we'll just put cancel. Alright, I'm going back. I hope you have understood this. Check income from salary based on form 16. If you have any income from house property, fill that. If you have income from other sources, fill that. Check the gross total income. If you have any exempt income, add that, and then hit confirm. Okay. Once you are done with this, you will understand, okay, personal information confirmed, gross total income confirmed. Now you go ahead with total deductions. Now because we have opted for the new tax regime, only one deduction additional is eligible for us, which is 80CCD2, which is nothing but the contribution to pension scheme of central government by the employer. Okay, so if you are eligible, you will press yes, otherwise it is no, and then we can just say continue. Alright, so with that, ideally we should be done with the total deductions also, but yes, it was loading, right? So now the total deductions are done, but if you want to claim this, so if that be so, you will have to just enter whatever is the amount and then press add, but right now we don't have anything under 80CCD2, so we're just going to cancel and go back. So then this one says verify your deductions. It's going a bit slow. Alright, so we have verified all the deductions, but very, very important. So for example, here it says show all the details. So if you have all the details, it will be shown here. Would just want to share a fun fact with you. It could be possible that your deductions don't reflect here. Ideally, they should be pre-filled. But one of my friend was telling this to me, that he had a client and whose TCS was done. TCS is a tax collected at source. That was appearing in the AIS. okay, but it was not appearing in the ITR pre-filled version. So ideally it is your responsibility to check whether all incomes are reflected here or not, all deductions are reflected here or not, and then only you should press confirm. Okay, once this is done, now what has happened? Okay, all three confirmed. Now it is about taxes paid. So click here. Once you click here, you will see whatever is the TDS on salary. If it is from other than salary, everything again check all. See, this is the point I was talking about, tax collection collected at source. See whether it is matching with your AIS or not. And once you see this is matching all right, then you will say, okay, all these are the total taxes paid. I have checked it at my end also, and then press confirm. Okay. Now it says let's validate your pre-filled return. 1, 2, 3, 4, all steps done. Now on to the last one, which is your total tax liability. I'll just have to scroll down. This is your final checking basically. You see here, okay, this is my total gross total income. This much is the computation of my taxes. If you want to check what is the how was the calculation done, you can just say show calculation. It will properly tell you that up to 6 lakh it is just 5%. So basically, of course, after your exemption limit, for your income up to 6 lakh, it is saying whatever is the 5%, then 10%, 15%, 20%, whatever. This is automatically given by income tax website. You can hide the calculation. You will see here how much is the tax liability, how much is the cess. Everything will be mentioned here. Balance after, okay, la la la, interest. And this is the overall tax fee, total tax, fees, interest, whatever, and then just press confirm after you have obviously checked it. Now everything is done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 5 are confirmed. With that, let us just hit proceed, and then you will understand that okay, you are eligible for a refund of 13,280. But wait, if it's a refund, simple. What if you have amount which is payable? In that case, instead of showing that it is a refund, it would have shown as if money is payable, and generally it also shows how much it is payable. I'll just try and show this on the screen. So I've just taken few screenshots of how it would look like. It would look something like this, that amount is payable, 2,06,000, whatever is the amount payable. Then you will have to mention here that, okay, you'll just have to press next basically. Then it will show which is the assessment year, what is the type of method. Then you will have to press on continue. After that, you will just check how much is the tax, interest, surcharge, whatever. Again, press on continue. And then you will have to go to your net banking, or you can make the tax payment via debit card or via credit card, UPI, whatever is the case, normal payment, and then ultimately hit confirm. So I hope with this you have understood if it's a refund or whether if it's a payment, how to proceed with it. I hope the entire procedure is absolutely clear. We are almost done now, last 1 or 2 minutes. So now we have to click on preview return. Okay. Now once I do that, I'll just check this box, and then I will scroll down, and then I'll say proceed to preview. Once I do this, this is the whole printable form that you will get. You will see majority things are blurred out. Yes, because this does contain personal information of some person. So this is blurred out. Here, important, you can check again key what is your gross total income, whatever was there while we were filling it. So here you will have to just again last time, for the final time, if you want, you can just go through all the details, one cross check. And I'm just scrolling down as of now, presuming that I have checked everything properly, and then I say proceed to validation. So basically this is one more check. Validation is one more check, where if there is some error, it will pop up that yes, this is an error. Okay, so let's see. Now you will see here validation is completed, but one error found. Okay, so for that I'll have to double click on this. Now I'll go down, and okay, so here an additional exempt, so it's a commuted value of pension received, and it says it should not be 0. Obviously, if I'm claiming something, amount should not be 0, but this must have been taken imported by mistake. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to delete this 1010A ka, and I'm say yes, I don't want this. This is to be deleted, right? Then I again go and I say save. So good, you also understood that if some error pops up, what is to be done, right? Now I'll just go down again and I'll say okay, confirm. Again, we are now going to again validate. So I'm just going to say proceed and preview return again. Alright, entire thing is previewed. I've checked it thoroughly, okay? And then I'll say proceed to verification. Now it says validation successful, no errors were found. Yay! Animation team जरा थोड़ा ये वगैरह से tag बर कहाँ? Okay, चलो. So now ultimately we say proceed to verification, and now you just have three options: e-verify now, e-verify later, verify via ITR V. Okay, so so this is finally it's as good as you are signing now. That okay, I've checked it, I have verified it, now I have to sign. Okay, this last option verify via ITR V is like you download it, print out it, sign and send it by postal. Why do you want to do that? Now signature can be like OTP based. So for that you just click e-verify now, and if I say continue, I will receive an OTP. I'll insert the OTP, and that's how the ITR1 will be filed. Well, I hope you understood the importance of how to go step by step, and last point especially e-verify, that was very very important. Why? Because if you don't e-verify, it's as good as you have not signed it. It's as good as incomplete. Your return will not be considered as valid. Okay, so that is why it's very important to e-verify that. Don't forget to do that last and final step, and then only your ITR filing will be complete. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and as I mentioned, if you still need help from someone, don't forget to fill out the Google form. I'll help you facilitate your income tax filing process. And if you loved this video, don't forget to share this with your friend. If you're still not if you're still not subscribed to my channel, do consider subscribing to my channel as well. I hope you enjoyed this one. Till then, take care. Jai Hind and bye bye.